Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream, plant live stream. Sowing out. I have a lot of seeds here that we could sow out. I have a little fitting for Easter, The Easter bunny has brought me a few different types of seeds, and I want to go through them today. Good stuff, actually. Interesting stuff. Yeah. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Hope everything's all right. I'm back and a lot of stuff today again. It's going to be an interesting live stream. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I want to start today by saying yesterday, I wished everyone a happy Friday repeatedly yesterday. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Yeah, so yesterday I wished everyone a happy Friday, and I did that the whole live stream. Because I thought it was Friday. So yeah, I'm sorry if that might have given you false hope. The week's still not over yet. I think Easter has completely messed up my inner clock. So yeah. Yesterday evening around 9 or 10 in the evening, I realized that it's actually Wednesday. So yeah. Sorry for that. Apart from that, yeah, I'm back. I have brought stuff for sowing out. I have a few different seeds that we could try out today, just sowing out different stuff. I have the chili again. I'm sorry. I was so... It has to do with the holidays. I don't know. I've constantly thought about the holidays. And in my head, I don't know, the week ended. The week ended on Wednesday. But since it was April's Fool's Day, most people probably thought I was joking. So that was the good thing. Okay, yeah. I also wanted to say that I dumped a whole container of pumice into my tent, into my plant tent, and I have decided I will cut back with the pumice. It's just too difficult for me with the muscle issues to not make a mess with it. It's such a light mineral. So I will do less with pumice again. I just can't handle pumice without spilling it everywhere. And then you have the ventilator that keeps blowing all the dust up. I really want to avoid that. So in the future, I will probably try to focus on sowing soil. Nonetheless, there will always be situations where pumice is better. Okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? I just try to, like, every time I'm picking up a pot and I have it, like, my muscle, like from the tick bite that I had, the muscle don't closes firmly, so it constantly drops stuff. And if it's just soil, it's not so bad. But if you have the minerals literally in your living room, it's different. Okay. Yeah, let's get started. I want to water the chilies. They're growing and growing. Chilies are growing, and I have brought a few more seeds that I found. Different chili seeds. We will discuss them later. And I also want to try sowing out this here. This is a piece of paper with seeds integrated into it. And it's different flower seeds, I believe. They haven't really said what it is, so we will try it out. I assume it might be the plants that are shown on there, But I'm not entirely sure. We will sow these out today. I feel like we might be able to germinate them in here, since the piece is has a weird shape, but it could fit in here. If we fill that thing halfway with soil, we might be able to place that on the soil. I'm not sure which side is up. Like this side here is a little bit transparent. So maybe this side up, I'm not sure. Didn't see like a manual, something like that. We would just try it out. The seeds should germinate. They should eventually grow into the right direction, no matter what. So that's what we will do later. Okay. Then I saw that the pumpkin looks weird. I think we need to put a a little wooden thing, like a brace or something like that, besides the pumpkin to kind of tie it up that it doesn't fall all the time. It's reached the size where it becomes unstable. Okay, so let me see what we have here. Oh, come on. Ciliega picante. Chili Ciliega picante. Okay. Here's the seeds that I found, and these had fallen below the desk. Habanero mini red. And there was another one that was something like sweet, some sort of a sweet pepper. And those could be great too. Okay, always happy to take questions if you wanna ask something, like always. And if not, we will just continue to sow out. I also have a lot of cactus seedlings here that we will go through later. Need to water a lot of them. Maybe repot. A lot of stuff today. So I hope that these will grow a little bigger now that I've repotted them. We'll be buying new pots sometime soon. But for now, this is okay. You can see that it's growing side shoots here. Here on the side, here's shoot. Here's one. There are many on a very limited area, very small area. So we might get a very compact plant here. Yeah, apart from that, this is enough. The soil has dried since yesterday. And for now, they are growing. They are looking better every day. I feel like the repotting in the bigger pot really helped them. So here's the variegated chili, by the way, also repotted just recently. I would love to put it in a bigger pot sometime soon, maybe within the next 2 or 3 weeks. But for now, this is okay. Just a little water now. And this one's also very compact. I'm not sure if this is normal, but we will find out. I'm still new to the chili world. The chili world has so much lights to show me. Okay, next one. And this is the second pumpkin that has recently germinated. Check it out. Pumpkin. And yeah, I think we will pot them out. We will plant them outside at some point in a bigger, maybe in a bag. One of these fabric pots that you can move, that is easy to lift, not so heavy, you know, that could be great here. The soil still has a little bit of water, a little bit of humidity, but I think we will water it again just to clean it, just to give a little bit of rain. I really like to do that. For one, you are simulating the natural rain outside, and it's also just cleansing. It feels good to spray something, especially when, you know, like when it's water, with water. Okay, so now I wanted to show you this one. That one's really starting to take off now. And since it's come into the bigger pot, so I probably want to repot the ones that are in the smaller pot very soon too. I just like how they responded after repotting. Yeah, and this one also has little side shoots coming out here, 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 here. This could become a really cool plant later on. Maybe we can keep it alive for 2 years or so. I will try to overwinter it inside. Yeah, we'll see. I heard you can grow them a little bit like perennials, and we will try that. So for now, it's going good. But water, let me spray it a little. Yeah, this is nice. I like that. And and the flowers at the top here, 1, 2, 3 flowers that I can see. Here's another one, 4. Very soon we will get chili. We will get actual chili. Okay. So for now, this is all right. Tomorrow morning, roughly the same time, I will look at the pot again, and I will check if the soil is dry. And if the soil is dry, I will bring it again. And if it's still wet, then I will leave it there for another day probably. This is a pretty big pot here for that kind of plant, like inside. And for now, it holds the humidity well. So this one might not need water so often. Okay. Yeah, so let's have a look at the seeds that I brought. It's really interesting. And none of this is paid advertising, okay? I'm the type of person, I don't want to rule out that I ever have paid advertising, that I have a sponsor or something like that. But if I do, I actually tell you, I would say this, hey, this comes from a sponsor, check it out. I would not try to, to secretly advertise. So these are just that my mom brought these again. Tomatoes. I don't know what that is. Pattison. It looks a little bit like a lemon hybrid. I don't know. No, it's a zucchini. It's a zucchini. A flat form of zucchini. This could be interesting to grow. I haven't grown these before. So let me read a little. So you grow them inside, like you sow them out inside in a pot, and then later you plant them out, apparently. With 1 meter distance between the plants, sunny position, and the harvest, I don't know, until October, I guess, or something like that, or September. Germinates within 6 to 10 days, and from mid-May, you can move them outside. Okay, yeah, we will try these out. This is interesting. This looks so weird. I've never seen them. We will grow these. And these are red and yellow beets. But I think you have to plant them out in outside right away. So we will put this aside. Yeah, this is tomato hybrids. F1 hybrid, a hybrid or cultivar called Harzfeuer. The hearts, I think that's is it a forest? I think it's a big forest, something like that. Big forest. And in Germany. And that's a wordplay with fire. Harzfeuer, Yeah, we could sow these out, but I have a few more. I have a few more tomatoes that could also be interesting. Let me see. This is the one that we have already grown. Cayenne chocolate. There was one bag that I wanted to sow out, and now I can't find it. Oh, here. I think this is it. No, this is not it. This is Carolina Reaper. We've had these recently. Every time I put something aside to sow out later, I don't find it. Okay, we will sow out the others. So I have these here. Want to use these to sow out just to get started. Maybe we're sowing out these here. So let's open this up. I want to have a look at the seed size. This could be pretty big. This could be a plant similar to pumpkin. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 seeds in this. They write 8 seeds, but eventually it's 9. Yeah. Okay. So here's the seeds, by the way. Check it out. These are 2 sticking together. A little bit smaller than the pumpkin seeds that I recently had. This one's really flat. I think I will get a different one. This one feels a little bit more alive. Always when I sow out, I try to feel the seeds. If there's enough substance to them that they can actually grow into a healthy seedling. And if that's not the case, I would rather get another one. Okay, so I want to sow out 2 of these. Pattison Sunburst, cucumber type. Yeah. And this is the kind of commercial seed. It says they need a lot of fertilizer. Good. So this goes away. There would still be enough, I think. Like, these are not big, and we have to plant them out right away, but it's okay. For the beginning, this will be all right. I mean, we could also plant them out into bigger pots. Yeah. I mean, it's easier to kind of control the humidity with these. So I think we would still use them. When I have them in a little plastic bag, and just a bag that doesn't let the humidity out, when I'm sowing out with a pot with soil, it gets a little bit more difficult because the soil might have the wrong humidity. Hey Dave, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm just sowing out a weird plant, a weird hybrid. What was it? I've read it and forgot it again. Zucchini, some sort of a zucchini. Yeah. We will see how it goes. I have the strawberries. I had them here yesterday. I will get them again later. They haven't grown much. They are a little bit bigger now. But maybe just like this big, you know? Barely the size of a cactus seedling. And so far they are okay. I have them protected in the bin to keep out the fungus gnats. I really don't want to have them on that soil, because if they get in, they could really cause an issue. I believe that, like, when it would be difficult to bring them out early. Like, sometimes with the cactus seedling, you can compensate and bring them out of humidity a little earlier. But with the strawberries, I'm not sure if we can do that. They're so tiny, they might just dry up when they are outside. So I hope I can keep the fungus gnats away. Okay, so I will get me two of these plastic bags here that I used to sow out. Few more for later. And yeah, want to sow out 2 of these zucchini seeds. And to be honest, I have no idea what kind of a plant that zucchini is. I know it, you know, like from looking at it, but I couldn't tell you how the plant looks like. So it will be interesting to grow it. So, okay. Second one. Yeah, and with seeds this big, it would probably be better to grow them in something bigger right away. But why should we do that? It would make everything too easy. Okay, label. think this is the pen that they have given me in combination with the labels. Let me see if this thing writes. Okay, doesn't stink. Sometimes I hate when something, when you can really smell it. So Pattison, Sunburst is the cultivar. It smells. And the botanical name is Curcubita Pepo L. Yeah, and this sucks. I'm not writing with these. This is just, I'm sure like the writing, when you look at it on the label, it looks like it will dissolve the first time I'm spraying this with a little bit of fertilizer. I will put it in now, but I wouldn't put my hopes up that this is something that I will continue to do. Okay, so these come to the heater. Let me see what the germination temperature was. Maybe I said it. (15 to 20 degrees Celsius is the germination temperature. Yeah, that should be possible. We should be getting there. Directly besides the heater, that should work out. Okay. Next one. Let me see. I wish I knew where the other seeds are that I wanted to sow out earlier. I was so happy that I had found them, It's always like that. Oh, here, I have them. So this was a free bag. Like sometimes people give you a bag of seeds for free, and these were a sweet cocktail tomato gardener's sweetheart. Okay, I thought it was something else, but we will grow it. Little cocktail tomato. Why not? Why not? And the seeds are much smaller than the others. Like I've sown out a few chili seeds, by the way. They are maybe twice as big as these here. So far, I haven't fully understood how all of them connect together, But yeah. Hey mate, greetings to Liverpool. I really like the team. I really like the club. Let's say the club. Good club. So yeah, I sometimes watch them. So, okay. 2 seeds. I will try to sow out 2 of them. I really hope that Jürgen Klopp will do something again very soon, like that he will take over the German national team. The coach they currently have, not seeing a long future there. I was born in Saarland, Germany. Like right in between Germany and France. Kind of grew up in the borderland. And it was a great place to live. Great place to grow up. Okay, so I will put 2 of these into the bag again. And this is for the cocktail tomato seeds. Cocktail tomato gardener's sweetheart. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah, I would be happy if Klopp would do something again, like just not being with where he's at now, because he's not working as a coach. It's kind of a waste because he's such a good coach. I would love to see him working again. And like he's been my pick as the German national coach for the last 10, 15 years already. I would have gotten that man when he, like before he went to Liverpool, I would have already signed him because he's one of the best. Wherever he went, he built a team that was strong, that played great play, played great ball. Yeah. I feel like I was sad that he didn't win the Champions League against Bayern Munich back then, like with Dortmund, you know. Feel like they should have won. I've watched that game and I really wanted Klopp to win that game against Bayern. But yeah, Bayern always has those extra amazing players that can make the difference. And yeah, so I just hope he does something again. Yeah, I'm not happy with Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann, the coach, like he's been dodging a few players that are just playing world class right now. Like he's been not nominating Undorf and Leveling, like both players from Stuttgart. I don't know what's going on in that head of his, you know, like how he's building the team. I'm not getting it. We will see. I don't want to be too critical, but I'm not getting the way he's making the team right now. Like, you know, you would assume that you have so many great players that you can choose from, and he manages to pick different ones. I don't know. But I don't want to, you know, there's so much talk about it, like on like the German kind of pages, the football pages are full of it. So I'm not really thinking a lot about it. I will watch the World Cup and then we'll see. I don't think that he will stay coach after the World Cup. But if they play an amazing tournament, then I will apologize. You know, I would say, okay, I was wrong, but I don't think so. I'm not a fan of the fact that he's not picking these players that played an amazing year or have been playing amazing for the last 2 years. Okay. Cocktail, tomato. Oh, this is also like the labels have a protection, like some sort of a protective layer, and it makes it harder to write on them. I'm not sure how I always manage to get these labels that you can't write on. I just like go to eBay and I search for label, you know, plant label, and what comes up, and then it's something that has a protective layer, a coating against writing. I don't get it. Okay. Gardener's Sweetheart is the cultivar. I have not heard about them before. In fact, I haven't heard about many cocktail tomato cultivars. How do you think Germany will do at the World Cup? I think they will get a heavy opponent, like maybe Spain early or something like that. I mean, they usually get through the group phase, but I'm not seeing them getting past maybe semi-final being a good result, like with the way that the coach is playing, you know. This team hasn't been playing in one firm kind of position, you know, like where they have played with the same people always. They haven't played like that for very long, and usually they should know how they run, you know. They should know each other already much better. But the fact that the guy has been testing, like the last game against Ghana, he brought, like, I don't know, all kinds of different players, and eventually you cannot really see, like, they can't develop a structure in the game. So yeah, but they usually, very often, they have that kind of a bad qualification for the tournament, and eventually they're just a good team. Like spiritually, they can always win a difficult match. And when you're playing against these teams, sometimes you have a little luck on your side. But I don't think they will come further than semi-final. Yeah, I really like Wirtz. I'm glad that he's starting to kind of find his place in Liverpool. I like him. He's a good player. He like that one season that where they played so great with Xabi Alonso in Leverkusen. He played a great year, and Bayern Munich wanted to have him. They were really unhappy that they didn't get him. I'm sure he will make it in Liverpool on the long. He's kind of started to, it's always difficult coming there, and the other players don't give him enough balls, that kind of stuff, you kind of have to earn the respect, not only of the fans, but also of the other players. And I feel like he's starting to get it. He's a good player. He's not really, he's sometimes a little bit inconsistent, but he's one of the best that we currently have. Okay. Yeah, so this is the cocktail tomatoes. They will also come to the heater. Okay. So let me see what else we have here. Habanero Mini Red. Yeah, we could grow those. Yeah, I think we will. Habanero Mini Red. Actually, no. I hope not. Do I have something here like a weird kind of spot here? I hope not. I don't think so. Okay. So let me continue. I have 2 more of these and I want to sow out. And yeah. Habanero. I expect these to have tiny fruit. At least that's what I read from the title, from the name of the cultivar. And also sowing out 2 of them. Okay. Yeah, do I have another? Okay, here. And the moment they have germinated, I will bring these into bigger pots, okay? So this is not going to be their permanent place. I just don't want to waste so much space in the beginning when I'm sowing out. Okay. So 1 seed into each. Maybe a little bit deeper, 1 centimeter. I try to get them in. Yeah. And when I have the seedlings, I will bring them in. I also wanted to plant a few tomatoes, and I think I haven't done that yet. So let me put in a few more of these. Thanks for sowing out. Maybe we're sowing out the tomatoes here, that F1 hybrid. They say that you can grow 30 plants from these here, from this bag. Also grown inside for a few weeks, maybe until May or something like that. And then they are planted out. Okay. So while these are soaking, I will try to get. I really want to sow these out. I'm not sure what this is, but this is the kind of present that you sometimes get in pharmacies. I think these were given out in pharmacies. This is the thing, and this is a piece of paper with seeds in it. And I really want to see what comes from it. So we will try to sow them out. I put this aside, and then I will fill like these here. These takeaway containers, they have the right dimension to sow out in them. And this could just fit. This will just fit. I will fill it up half, and then we will plant it, and we will see how that will work. So here's the soil. This is sowing soil. Filling it up half. Pressing everything a little bit down because I don't want that to be too high. I really don't want to have, there needs to be space for the germination. And what I want to do is, when they germinate and if the seedlings are already a little bit bigger, we will bring that out. We will put it in a bigger bag. like something like this here, just bigger. Or maybe into the box where I have the strawberries. Yeah, that we could do that. You know what? We will do that. So let me just, yeah, but not in the beginning. Within the first couple of weeks, it might still be good to have them in this. This will tell us if there's any issues before I bring them to the strawberries. Don't want to contaminate them. Okay. So in this one also a little bit pressing the soil. And it's not so much about having compact soil. I just don't want it to be so high up. I want to have a little space for the seedlings here. Yeah. Could also pot it, like we could also pot it right into a bigger pot. Put it on, like in the big pot right away, like something of this size could also work. Could put it like this, put it on top of the soil, and then put it either in a box or in a bag. And then it would have like what I just thought about, depending on what kind of plant we have here, we might not be able to repot them so easily. There are some plants that you just can't easily repot, you know? So yeah, let me get one of these. We will fill up one of these, and I will put that into a bigger bag. This is just like, we could induce the germination in here, but the moment we have to take them out, bring them into something bigger, the plants might not do well with it. So let me just get a little empty pot that I have on the side. And while I do that, I will also bring the strawberries. Okay. Yeah, let's get these here. This is nice. Okay. So and here's the strawberries. I'm not sure if I can get that. I want to show you how the strawberries look before we're doing that. And it's good that I'm doing that because I will also take out the eggplant from yesterday, because the eggplant looked really bad. The eggplant didn't look like it's going to make it. Okay. So here's the the strawberries. This still hasn't grown much. This looks like, yeah, very young seedlings. They haven't really grown much. You can see that there's the beginning of new shoots in center. Yeah, but nothing really. I'm trying to see if I can see the roots on the side. This thing is good because it would theoretically allow you to look at the roots. But I'm not seeing any yet. They're either in center or they're not very deep. Yeah. But this is the strawberries right now. White strawberries. We will see how long they will take. Yeah, and this is the eggplant number 1. And that will come out now. It has given up the fight. Has no desire to continue living. So I will put that aside. And this one here, that was the other one also. From one day to another. I'm not sure why. Probably because they were etiolated. They were not getting enough light. That's currently the leading theory, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay. So this is the pot. I will try to fill this with soil a little bit. And then I will plant those seeds, like these pieces of paper. I will plant them in this thing here. This is using up quite a lot of soil. I actually wanted to repot a few seedlings today. It's not looking likely right now. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Let's fill up the pot. Okay. Good. So check it out. And I will place those pieces of paper on top of the soil. We could split it up, but I don't want to use so much space. I really want to have them here, and that's it. So this is piece 1. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be an Easter bunny? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm holding it. I have no idea what it is. What it's supposed... Oh! I think it's supposed to be a bee. Yeah. Okay. They could be great for the bees, so we will plant them out. I will place this thing on the paper, on the soil, just on top of the soil. Think I will... I'm unsure which side comes up. I'm unsure. I feel like they should write it, like they should let you know. Oh no. I think I will put that side up, like the white side up. Should make it easier for the seeds to germinate. That's my theory, that they can get through it a little easier. Okay. So where's the other one? I had 2 of these. Here's the other one. Okay, second one. All right, I will water that now. Just a little water. Let me show you what I did here. This will be an interesting experiment. I'm not sure what will happen here. I'm sure that this can work. I've seen that before, you know. People are sowing out in paper towels. This is not really that much different. So I would spray this now. Also the strawberries, they get a little rain here. And then I will close this up again. I don't want to have any kind of fungus gnat infestation in this thing. Okay. The paper kind of already starts to dissolve a little bit. Okay. So I assume, like, my suspicion is that these will come up just beautiful flower, you know, garden flowers, that kind of stuff. The classic garden flower plants. And that would be great. Would be a fun kind of experiment. I'm not sure where I put the lid. I actually thought I brought the lid with me. Okay, so here's another one. Hope it fits. I think these are the same. Yeah. I will have a look at that other lid later. So yeah, this will come into the, to the lamp, I think. Temperature will not be so high. I suspect that the germination temperature of these flower seeds here, I don't know, maybe 22. We will find out. But I will move that to the plant lamp again, where it will get 12 hours of light, decent humidity, decent temperature, decent humidity, and then we can, the moment I have a few seedlings there, I will show them to you again. Okay. That's an interesting kind of experiment. I like it. So, okay, I think our little soil pellets have soaked enough. Yeah, and I wanted to sow out a few tomatoes. And then I'm done with the vegetable stuff, and then we will move to the cactus seedlings. I will put this aside. Okay. Beets. We will grow beets eventually. It will be glorious. But not today. I want to prepare something where we can plant outside. Maybe a flower bed. That could be funny. Could be interesting to sow out something like that. I have beans that I want to grow. Yeah. And beets. Sounds great. Maybe a little bit of corn. Maize. I have purple maize and I wanted to grow that. Okay, so these are the tomato seeds. Check it out there in a separate. Just reading the date, how long they are good, how long they are viable. And they have listed the date December 2027. Germination within 12 to 18 days. And mid-May, you can start moving the little plants outside. Okay, let's try this out. I'm open to that. Oh, come on. I will just sow out 2 seeds. I don't want to have too many of the same kind. We will try them out. We will grow a few of each. And everything that we like, we will continue to sow out next time. Maybe next year, you know. Oh, come on. All right. I picked 2 seeds that look like they might be viable. Some of the bigger ones that just felt a little better. And the cultivar is called Harzfeuer. Harz, German forest, I guess. Big kind of like forest area that covers a pretty big area. And yeah, this is named after that, in honor of the Harz, probably. Called Harzfeuer, meaning fire of the Harz. Okay. Here's the seed. Tiny tomato seed, and I will try to get it maybe a centimeter deep in. Always good to kind of close it up again. Close up that entry hole that where you brought the seed into the soil, because that allows the seedling to get rid of that outer shell, of that outer seed shell when it's germinating, when it's coming through the soil. Very often the shell is getting stuck in the soil, and that is good because it's often a potential source for infection if that is still on. That is why it is sometimes important to keep the right depth, to sow them at the right depth, because that depth is necessary to get rid of that also. Get rid of that outer shell. As a cactus breeder, that was something that I didn't really understand in the beginning. I was trying to sow out everything like cactus seedlings. And cactus seedlings, you put them on top of the soil. Okay. I'm constantly amazed by the fact that I managed to always get labels that are hard to write on. Just by accident, I would have had at least one type that's good. Not happening. Okay, we've sown these out yesterday. So let me write a label, and I will use these here. They are not completely horrible, but they also have a coating that prevents writing on it. I don't know why they are doing that. Honestly, I don't get it. I want to be able to write on the label. It's a plant label, you know. It's the only thing that they are sold for. Of course, there are people who have a printer, but come on. Got to be able to write something on a label. So, tomato. Herzfeuer. Fire of the hearts. Oh, God, I hate it. You can't write on them. F1, I guess. F1 being first generation of seedlings, hybrid seeds. Crossed with each other, something like that. This is getting 1.50 meter to 1.80 meter. That is, they get so tall as I am. I'm 180. Would be interesting. Okay. Yeah, and they go to the heater now. I will keep them at maybe 25. Hey, Robert, good morning. Great to see you. Hope everything's all right. I've just seen that you have replied to that other post there with that weird plant in my garden. Yeah, the name that I had was wrong, I guess. Yesterday when I posted that video, someone had identified it with the name Königskerze in German, and I looked up the plant and it's a different plant. So I guess the botanical name that was given was right, or what you wrote. I will look at it again later, but I think that was correct. Okay. Yeah, this goes to the heater. Have a lot of seedlings coming up. Lot of them. Okay. Cleaning up a little. So let's start watering the cactus seedlings. I have a lot of them. And I also want to move a bunch of things. I decided to tone down with the pumice, by the way. I've said it earlier. I want to say it again. The pumice is just everywhere already. I have dropped 1 or 2 containers from the mussel issues, and I just don't want to have it everywhere in my living room. So in the future, I will really tone it down with the pumice, having substantially less. Just barely as a topping layer, but I also don't want to have it, you know, the moment you carry one of these and you have it like this, instantly the pumice falls out the pot. And eventually it's everywhere. You carry it, you find it in your bed. I don't want that. Okay. So these are recently repotted. What I will do is I will water them. And after that, I just want to correct the position, want to see if there are any root issues that I'm not aware of. For now, this looks okay. Soil is not completely dry again, but I want to water it a little bit. So let's have a look what the seedlings are doing. I just want to touch them a little, want to feel if they have a solid connection, healthy root. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they look good. They are okay. I am positively surprised. Every seedling is firmly in the soil. For now, this can stay like that. This is great. Don't have to take out anything. You see what they are. Lubivia winteriana. I had the feeling that they are Lubivia winteriana, but I wasn't entirely sure. Okay, so these also repotted recently. And yeah, I have so many that now have a pumice top layer, and I will leave it. I will leave the top layer there. I'm not taking it off again. But with the others, we will try to do it without, and then we can compare. We can then compare how the success rates are, how good or how bad, without the top layer and with the top layer. So these have also been reported, and what I want to do is there are a few seedlings that look delayed. Some of them look like they are too small, not big enough, not healthy enough. So I will, for one, try to check the connection. I really want the seedling to be in the soil with the root. And I check every seedling for health issues. Here's one that's already covered by the soil. I will clean that up a little bit. Generally speaking, it's a very bad thing when a seedling is covered by soil. Here's a big piece of, like a big chunk of wood that I want to take out. That was also pressing on that seedling, onto that seedling. I will try to correct the position. Maybe I will move it a little bit to the outside of the pot. That should allow me to see it a little better. Sometimes you have seedlings in a blind spot that are just where you can't really, where you see that, maybe you see the tip, but you can't really see what's going on at the root. Here's another small seedling, very delayed compared to some of the others. Others are bigger, but the root seems to be okay. If the root is damaged, we will take them out right away. I will not keep anything with a damaged root. A little bit more water because it gives you visibility. Okay, so I will wiggle around a little bit, trying to get the seedlings a little bit deeper into the soil if they are not firm. If you're wiggling around, then it feels like it will come out the soil any second. Then I change something. Then I try to get them a little deeper into the soil. In my opinion, that greatly increases the likelihood that the seedling will make it eventually. Of course, you can't really, like, if something is eating the roots, then no good care will prevent that. But at least you are giving them the best potential chances. Here's one, like this one was very small compared to the bigger ones. And when I looked closer at it, I saw that it wasn't covered by soil, that it was just on the soil. These are the little things that are often the direct cause for the little seedlings, for having delayed seedlings, disadvantaged a little bit. Not every spot in a pot is equally good. Also depending on how you water. If you water in a way, if you always water the same way, you might always just water the seedlings in a certain area of the pot. Okay, so a little bit more water, and then that thing can go back to the lamp, just dry up. 12 hours of light. Next time I really want the soil to be dry again, just slightly, but I really want it to be dry again. These here too. We just lost one. Okay. Yeah, these have been repotted recently, and what you just saw, that the seedling falls out, that happens often after repotting. When the seedlings are not really fully in the soil yet, So what I would do is I would water them a few times until the soil is somewhat flexible, somewhat usable. And then I will move 1 or 2 of the seedlings that are not firmly in the soil. Then I will move these a little deeper. Here's a piece of wood, a small one, but I want it out because it was at a bad spot for the seedling. When you have pieces of wood or pieces of soil towering all around seedlings, I recommend to remove it. Because it takes away, like, oxygen can't get to the seedling if it's surrounded by soil. And oxygen's pretty good to have. So here also, little piece of wood that I want to have out. It's not absolutely necessary, but it greatly increases the chances of the seedlings that they have. They get more light. They don't have something close to the roots that can trap humidity. Okay. Some of the seedlings in center are really weak, like in regards to the stability. They will need a little bit more time after repotting, but you can already see that some of them have found their footing in the new soil. So a little bit more water now. And again, I'm always happy to take questions. If not, I'm just watering, going through with the watering. I have a lot of seedlings that need water now. I want to talk about the video set, by the way. The video set for live streaming outside is almost done. I'm almost ready. Everything's almost ready for starting to film outside. And yeah, I've been working on the pond again. Pond restoration project. I have this old pond that I want to restore. And yeah, I've taken out a lot of roots that were just growing on top of the foil, on top of the top. Yeah, now that thing looks much better. Looks much better like a pond again. So there might be an update about that sometime soon. I also saw that the tree that is growing besides it had broken off sometime during a storm within the last half a year or so. I'm not sure when it happened, but gotta be careful that tree doesn't fall into the pond. Okay. So here's an update. That one seedling here, I don't like how the lower part here has a discoloration. This doesn't look so good. I'm not sure what's happened there, but that seedling could eventually give in. Yeah, we will check it out. This is a weak seedling. Check it out. It didn't have a root. I didn't meant to drop it, you know? Didn't mean to drop it, but it didn't have a root. Everything that has a damaged root, unhealthy root, will be very hard to save. A little bit more water, and then these will dry up. Let that dry up. Below the plant lamp, and later we will water it again. In general, what I'm doing here in this container, I'm just trying to improve the chances of the seedlings. And no matter what you do, just make sure that whatever you change is better after you're done than it was before. If you're doing something and it's worse than it is before, then it would have been better to just leave it alone. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this goes back to the lamp now. For now, this is okay. Seedlings look okay. These have been repotted. And here you can really see that they are finally starting to grow. I'm really happy here. And this is from a hybrid called Caesar crossed with Abla. Pink stripes and Abla. Caesar crossed with pink stripes and Abla. I have no idea how Abla looks like, what kind of a hybrid that is. But I trust the breeder that he only uses good stuff. Sometimes the breeder knows very well, like the good plants. Some of the newer, when a breeder sends you newer hybrids, newer plants that are not so popular yet, they often have a reason to send it, you know? Like in this case, I would just grow them without knowing how that other parent looks like. We will just try it out. We will see what comes from them. All right, so a little bit of water here. In general, these look great. I feel like they have started to grow healthy spines now. Sometimes you're repotting and everything looks bad, but in this case, they look great. I just want to correct 1 or 2 seedlings that are leaning over. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, see, this one here, I want to pick up. That one is a little bit too crooked. Trying to lift that one up again. Otherwise, it just has worse chances. When it's so close to the soil with the skin, a little injury could be enough. By the way, I've just saw that. Here's a little seedling that has germinated just recently. Sometimes you have seedlings that germinate much later than the others. This little dot here, that's a seedling. And this is how big the other seedlings are. It's a seed that I planted at the same time as the other seedlings, but it took a little longer. So yeah, just trying to get them a little bit deeper in the soil because they are already looking decent. You know, when the seedlings look good, it's good to not constantly interrupt them. So yeah, I would just try to very gently change a few things here and there, but nothing drastic. They are looking okay. Here's a seedling that was too close to the soil, like way here. Here's something that I want to take out. This is an expired seedling. I don't want that in the soil because it can contaminate everything. Yeah, okay, so here's a little piece of wood. If I see solid pieces of wood, I usually take them out. Like when they are lying around on the top layer, I usually take them out. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, these two, like the small ones here, this in center here, and there's another one behind it. I don't like how small they are compared to the others, because these have germinated at the same time as the others. These should already be bigger. Very often there's a reason for that. So let me see. So this seedling here looks like it had like fungus gnat damage. But it seems to have rooted again. Has re-rooted itself in a way. So maybe it has a chance. I will leave it in. Despite the small size and despite the fact that it had a root injury. We would see. Eventually, if we just have the bigger seedlings, that's good enough too. For as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with that. I don't need 1 million seedlings anymore. I leave that to the younger growers. Okay. So now next one. These here just need water, and they need quite a lot of it. They are a little bit dehydrated, especially here. These, the bigger ones, I suspect there's just certain areas in the pot that get more water when you spray them a little roughly, you know, not making sure that every seedling gets the same amount of water. So I'm trying to do that here a little bit more precisely. But also I see healthy spine growth. That is good. I see green skin. And there are not that many issues that I see. Like in some of the containers, I've seen losses. Usually fungus gnat losses. But the others are okay. Some of them are much more prone to having issues with the root. Just trying to get a feeling for the root system here of every seedling. But they feel like they are firmly in the ground, firmly in the soil. I'm happy about it. So then I wanted to have a look at these because these have been delayed, not growing well. Then I see a few lying there. So we will have to clean up here. This can't stay like that. Just out of cleanliness reasons, to have a clean top layer. I do not want to have seedlings contaminating the soil. So now we will really look closely at the ones that have a damaged root system or might not have one at all. We will look closely now. Okay, so this one, trying to move it a little. I want to look at it from all sides. The root system's still there. Okay. I can't see an infection, an obvious infection, so I would put it back in. Creating a little hole before I push the seedling in, then I lift the seedling up again. Okay. Here's a piece of wood that I want to take out. It was just too close to the seedling. I want the seedlings to be free of all kind of influences from the soil. They just need to touch the soil with the root. A little bit more water. I think we might have to take out this seedling here on the lower area here that just looks unhealthy. Let me see. Yeah, we will take that out. It looks shriveled up. Shriveled up seedling will not stay in there. And a lot of the seedlings that are shriveled up here, they are shriveled up because they have been variegated and haven't been getting nutrients. At some point, when you have variegated seedlings, they will either start to produce a little bit of chlorophyll or they will expire if you don't graft them. And yeah, I think that's the case here. Here's a seedling that I potted a little deeper. Another one besides it, also a little deeper. I want to spray that part like those little seedlings that I've just moved. Really makes it a little easier to get them into the soil. So this goes into the soil here. This goes into the soil. Okay, here this goes into the soil. This goes into the soil. Yeah, root is still there. I had already pushed it in, but I wanted to have another look at the root. If there hadn't been a root, I would have taken it out. Here's the same seedling, a little bit weird looking, a little bit transparent, having a transparent glow to them. And that's often not a good sign. Here's a seedling that needs to be picked up. Let me see the root. Okay, it's still there. Root is still there, so it will go back into the soil. Here's a little seedling. We'll take that one out, doesn't have a root. Here's another one that doesn't, check it out, this transparent white color. Sometimes you have that milky white color on a seedling. And yeah, I take them out. They are a waste of time. They will eventually expire. So yeah, that already keeps the area a little cleaner. If you had still the electric button, I accidentally hit the electric button in the arm. If you have the seedlings that are barely alive sitting there on top of the soil, it kind of gives fuel to pests. You always have that abundance of decaying material, and it's just not a healthy way for the soil to kind of to dry. If you have a rotting seedling, it takes much longer to dry too. So I very much rather take out the weak seedling, unhealthy seedling, and just leave what's healthy. This has a bad root. Looks bad. I would love to just take it out already. But there is a root. And I don't want to overdo it, you know? Okay, a little bit more water. But this is already looking a little better. We could also place a little bit of pumice in between. That is a matter of taste. Okay, then I wanted to move seedlings because I've seen that these were not looking good. These need to come into new soil. I want to bring these in sowing soil, So let me just get my gloves, and then we will move them into sowing soil. Okay. I still have a little bit of soil here, so it should work, should be enough. I used up quite a few of it, quite a bunch of it. Okay. Okay. So this is the sowing soil again. I want a nice even layer here. I don't want to have a moon landscape. Okay. Yeah, let's water the new soil. I want it to be a little bit wet, that I can just place the seedlings there without them sticking to soil. Let me have a look at the label. This is Wörlitz Cantora crossed with feathers. Good hybrid. I've sent a few of these out into the world in the last years. Still haven't seen any kind of offspring from them yet, but it will happen eventually. Could be a great cross. I really have, I see potential there. Yeah, now I just get the seedlings out of the soil, out of the old soil, moving them into the new soil, just placing them on top of the top layer until I have time to separate them and plant them. Oh. I accidentally removed a little bit too much of the root. It's still there, but this wasn't good. This was pathetic. I hate when that happens. We do so much to keep these seedlings alive, and within 1 second where you're not fully concentrated, something can happen. Shows you how close life and death, how close everything is when we're talking about plants or nature in general. Okay. So this is the old soil. I don't want to reuse that in the house. This will go back. We'll go back outside. Maybe I can reuse it in the garden, but inside that is, I don't want to do that. Really trying to work clean due to the fungus gnat and mealybug. They can spread easily. I don't want to have them. So trying inside to work as clean as possible. What I do now is I will just move the seedlings into the soil, just gently pushing them into the soil. When the soil is wet like this, you can just push them in, and that is great. I like when that happens, when you can just give them a little push and then they're in the soil. That is a great thing. Okay. I think I have at least 10 or 20 different crosses with these parents, involving these two parents. I made many different crosses with these over the years. And I still can't tell you if they are great or not. We will find out together. None of the seedlings or the seeds, you know, I often send out seeds, but I haven't seen them flowering yet. Maybe this year could be the first year where they are flowering. Okay. Seedlings now in the new soil. I want to water them again. And when that has happened, we might have to correct them one more time just to make sure that they are really firmly in the soil when I put that thing at the plant lamp. I want them to be really in the soil, not lying. Here's a piece of wood that I want to have out. It makes it, like, especially when it's a longer piece of wood, it makes it a little harder to balance the seedlings, because sometimes you press on the soil and you can't press any further because there's a little piece of wood lying there. Okay. Here's a small, very small seedling, besides a bigger one. This is probably also delayed germination. Okay, yeah, and this will go back to the plant lamp. This looks much better than what it was before. Really happy the way these look now compared to earlier. Cleanup goes a long way. Having clean soil, removing everything that didn't make it. You will never be able to save them all. You will always have losses. People that where you only see success, they are just not honest. When you're growing so many, you sooner or later, it's just logical that some of them will give in. But how many you can actually influence, you know, the better you are, the less you lose. Okay. Then I wanted to have a look at these. These are still in the first generation soil, and I would love to repot them. But I don't think we have enough soil now. No. I definitely wanted to bring a few seedlings out of one pot. I haven't decided which one, but I wanted to. I will do it deciding on which ones look like they needed the most, you know? I feel like these here needed the most. These are so close together that you sometimes lose seedlings. And in this case, they will really appreciate when we're bringing them out. Let me just fill another pot. Okay. Also sowing soil. Let me see if we can get the second one filled too. Yes, it's just enough. I'm happy that we can do that right now, because the seedlings here, for one, they are too deep. They are too deep down in the valley. And then I feel like some of those seedlings, I don't trust what's happening below them. Sometimes when you have seedlings that are so close together, you have no idea what's going on below. You might be losing a seedling in the center, and you could have rot that is eating its way through that whole thing, and you wouldn't know, because it is hard to say what's happening on the other end of the pot. So I want to take these apart a little bit. So I will spray the new soil, just making it wet a little bit. just makes it more easy to work with. And in general, I really like when I repot and the soil is not dusty. Always trying to prevent that I'm working in a super dusty environment. Repotting can get really dusty, and if you water the soil before you do that, it really tones that down, decreases the likelihood that that will happen. Here's the seedlings. They don't look bad. Like, it's not bad. This is in first generation soil, black soil, and some of the seedlings look great in it. It is very organic, a lot of big pieces of wood, big chunks. But if everything goes great, the seedlings look super healthy in it. I hope that they will do equally good in the new soil now. So yeah, now we just pull them apart a little bit. I want to have a little bit of space in between the seedlings. Okay. Now it's a good example what I meant earlier, like when I said that you have no idea what's going on. Here's a brown spot at the base. It might not be an active infection yet, but I really don't like that discoloration. This is already looking... Not sure if it shows in the camera there. Very brownish base. I really don't like that. So let me put that aside. I'm not sure if we will put it back in. Probably not. Okay. I want to split the seedlings up over 2 containers. Every time I have separated a seedling, and I'm very careful about the roots. I don't want to break off the root. This goes so easy. Like when I'm pulling now, I just feel something is holding it back, and the harder you pull, the more likely it is that you accidentally injure a seedling. Really careful taking these apart now. Okay. Could get one out of them. Now maybe the others will follow. Not really. And this was a big piece. This is always the same. I keep saying that I do not like when seedlings grow close to bigger pieces of wood or soil, because that's what happens when they do that. They grow into that thing. They could grow into rock, and you would have a hard time getting them separated again without injuring them. Okay. This took really long to take a few seedlings apart. The other seedlings, like that one seedling that had the discoloration, that seedling was the only one so far that looked bad. Like with a bad kind of root system. They all have a relatively healthy root. So I'm not 100% sure if that soil that we used in the beginning might not be even better. We will see. It had a lot of issues, but also strengths. Was drying a little bit differently. Okay. So now I put them in the second pot. This is how many I will roughly have in one pot. I want to have a little bit of distance between the seedlings, but also not too much. Piece of wood, I'm taking it away. It was close to the root. It almost got stuck to it, but I got it off. Oh, here. I need a lamp here to show you that kind of stuff. Here's an orange discoloration. There you can see it. Orange discoloration at the base. Not looking good. I will take it out for now. Okay. For the age, they have a fairly good root system. At the moment, I'm constantly torn between what kind of a soil we should use. Like, you can work in 10 different ways. You can grow plants in 10 different ways, you know? Yeah, a little bit of transplanting. It's always relaxing too, calming. And when you're working so close with the seedlings, you kind of get a feeling for it. Also, it's fun when you're repotting healthy seedlings. When something's healthy, it's so much more fun to bring it into a new pot. Okay. Yeah, so in general, I want to say, like, there were 2 or 3 more smaller seedlings that I just found that also had this kind of orange discoloration at the root. So I believe it was the right decision to move them. Eventually, you will run out of luck. Eventually, you will just have that one root infection that will turn the soil dirty. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm sure there's a lot of potential with these plants. Just breeding, getting different kind of cultivars and all. I like that. It's not my field, you know, but nice plants. Beautiful, beautiful plants. Okay. I think I'm done here. And then I will try to get the label out of the old pot. Label is somewhere down. I've seen it already. So it's not gone. Just so easy to lose the label with these kind of little tiny labels. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me see what we have here. Pink stripes. Pink stripes crossed with Cantora. No, what was it? Yeah, Cantora Gelb crossed with Teshi and Apricot Glow. That is the full cross. Yeah, I mean, it happens very often that people find the plant hobby because something attracts them to it, you know, and eventually they realize what a fun hobby it is. That's very often how it is, and that's the good thing about the plant hobby, you know. Even if people have kind of different intentions, when they kind of find out how much fun it is to keep something alive, to see something thriving, it's a very positive kind of thing that often, yeah, carries you through life. At least that's how it is with me. Okay. So this is P&O. This is the label P&O 22 from 2022. 44 pink stripes crossed with Cantora, Teshi, and Apricot Glow. Okay. And the old label I put into the second pot. I don't want to write 2 new ones. So now I will spray them, clean them up a little bit because they're still dirty from the old soil. And then we will find a new spot for them. That's great. When you have the old plants that really got you into the hobby, that's a great thing to have. I got Echinocactus grosoni and a Gymnocalcium horsty. Those were the two plants that I had, and I lost them over the years, unfortunately. But yeah, really, really nice when you still have those plants. Okay. Yeah, and also this pot here, the soil, I will use that for the garden. Maybe we're planting something outside in the garden. Okay, so now I will move the seedlings into the soil, just pushing them gently, lifting them up. Often it helps to dig a little around below the seedling, but always got to be careful that you don't injure it. This too. What I want to do is I will try to compress the soil a little bit around that one seedling. I felt like it was too tall. Sometimes you have soil that surrounds the seedling. I usually try to counteract. Okay. Yeah, but most of the roots look good here. Positively surprised. I wanted to use the chance to talk about the issues that I had with Sky. Like they've been sold apparently. The company has been sold, and in the last couple of months, they've really downgraded everything that I pay for, and I was quite unhappy. I keep posting about it on social media, and it's so hard, like sometimes you don't want to be negative, you don't want to talk about something negative, but this is the type of stuff today, like all those companies, they are barely reachable with customer service anymore. You can barely get in touch with anyone. So if you have a problem with a company today, it only goes away if you talk about it. If more people talk about the issues that you have, that's the only way to be seen these days. I feel like the big companies have outsourced customer service to other countries, to countries where they have some sort of a representation, but it's actually not a helpful one. They often don't even know what's going on the, in the operative part of the company that they are representing. So yeah, I was ranting about Sky yesterday. I was really angry. And I will continue to do it until I have my working package again. I'm just unhappy about the way how everything has become worse, like customer service wise, how difficult it has become to reach someone, how difficult it is to just, because everything costs so much money now. So you kind of also expect a little bit of little bit of quality in return. And very often these companies are not interested anymore. They just want to get your money and don't deliver a good product. And when you try to reach them, they send you to an AI chatbot that can't help you. I really believe that this kind of customer service where they have then these chatbots, nobody has ever been helped by a chatbot. That's really what I believe. These cases you have to bring in an actual person. So yeah, I will continue to let you know if that 50 euro per month, which is a lot of money for me, if that package actually will work again. So far it doesn't. Okay, here's an update. Slowly moving the seedlings into the soil. Yeah, no, I really feel like today as a consumer, you are completely alone. They leave you completely alone. And if the big companies, like the companies, they do what they want. And only when the public kind of gets aware of what, like when a post goes viral, then they actually are interested to help you. That's the only way today how you can really get the attention of a company. And it's really frustrating for me. Because I've seen different times. I've seen times when when companies had a good customer service. It might still exist today, but it has become so rare with the big companies, phone companies. Yeah. Streaming services. I generally expect that when I get in touch with a chatbot, it will not help me. It's a waste of money, also from a company's point of view. Okay, so this is the number one container. Let's spray them again. I want to clean it up a little bit. Okay. All right, this will go to the lamp again. I hope that the soil will dry out. And that will allow us to correct it a little bit. In the beginning, when you move them into the new soil, they will wriggle around, they will fall around. They just don't have the connection yet. They haven't grown the big root yet that they will eventually grow in this new soil. New soil is good for them. It will allow the root to continue to grow healthily. No pH level issues, no nothing. Okay, yeah, and this will dry up now. Let it dry up. And maybe in 2 or 3 days, I will bring it again. Okay, these two. Okay. Yeah, but the seedlings look okay. I'm looking forward seeing the flower. The idea behind this particular cross, the mother has a really nice kind of big flower with a lot of contrast, and the father that I'm using has a nice yellow flower, bringing in a little bit of the yellow. I was trying to get a color like pink stripes, where yellow and that strong purple that Wurlitz often brings into the seedlings, that those could make a great combination. We would see. So far, I haven't really seen much from the seedlings that have flowered, but I'm sure some of them will come out great. Hey mate, welcome to the live stream. This is, I think, Wurlitz Cantor. No, what? Wait. Pink stripes crossed with Wurlitz. No, with Cantora Gelb, Teschi, and Apricot Glow. That is the cross. Pink stripes crossed with Cantora Gelb, Teschi, and Apricot Glow. A hybrid by Uwe Kahler is the father, and the mother is Pink Stripes. Legendary hybrid by Reinhard Liske. German hybrid. Good one. Nice color. Yeah, and in this case, maybe they can go into a new into a new direction. Maybe keep the color of Pink Stripes, but more from the father that I bring in. I'm not really a seller. No, I used to sell seeds. I've been a seed seller for many years. But eventually you only have so much time during the day. It's a very time-consuming thing when you are selling seeds, and the fruits are very small. The plants that I have here, when you have a fruit of them, sometimes they only have 100 or 200 seeds, and that is difficult to kind of do that as a business. And with live plants, there are so many regulations involved today. European Union wants people to write a passport for every plant, you know. I will make them available. I will make them available for free. I'm not a seller. I want my stuff to be available for free. I just don't have the time to do it myself. But if there's ever a situation where I can just donate a few plants and others propagate them so they stay around, then that's what I will do. I want to keep, like, we are growing some really good things here, and I want them to stay around. I just don't have the time to sell them. Or, like, when you have a nursery, you really need to have a little bit more money than what I have. Like, just having a little bit of cash flow. Everything I do is so low budget, and the nursery business is really difficult today. Yeah, that's great. I mean, most of the plants, you would have to have a phyto certificate, plant health certificate. For some of them, seeds are okay. I think seeds do not need a health certificate. So I'm sure there are ways to import. I will let you guys know when something in that regard is happening. I'm always open to that. I also said that if we can get enough people that would be willing to propagate actually Amun-Re, I would donate a plant for free. Amun-Re has big, huge flowers. It's a great plant. It's rare. It's expensive. And I'm bothered by the fact that the black market, not the black market, that the market is so high that they charge $500 for a plant. I hate to see that, and I'm always willing, if there's something good that I have, to donate plants for propagation so we can make them available for free. Because the way the business is today, I'm not in it for the money. And yeah, I just enjoy doing the live stream. I enjoy doing the channel, and I had to choose, I had to pick and choose. If I want to continue just selling plants or producing plants, because that's already a full-time job, or doing the live stream, doing the channel, filming, and I kind of chose that. For me, it has the bigger potential to really reach people, Like when you have a nursery, and that is a great thing. It's a positive kind of work. You are always in contact with cool people, so that is a great thing, but it's not really what I do, Like my thing, I really enjoy doing the videos. Okay. So these have been repotted recently, and they look okay for now. I want to correct them. As you can see, some of them are leaning over a little bit crooked. I don't like that, and I want to correct that. Also want to check the roots, want to check the integrity of the base for every one of them. Pressing on top of the seedling, and I tried to push it into the soil a little deeper, but it wasn't working. So now we're getting the tool here, and I will push on top of the root ball, on top of the root system, to get them a little deeper into the soil. And at the same time, I push a little bit from the top, carefully pushing it a little deeper into the soil. That improves the stability. And I really like when seedlings are straight in the soil. Okay, here are two that are way too high. Something must have pushed them up. Here's a big piece of wood. This comes out. Not good to have. So this also comes out. Everything that can actually grow into the seedlings, or where the seedlings can grow into them, into these pieces, I take that out. Here this comes out. Just looks like it's rotting. When I decide what I leave on the top layer, I always come at it from a point of view where I look at the things and try to guess how much of a problem they could become under humidity, under constant humidity. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we will look into that, into propagation and all that. Like some of the stuff that we grow here is actually good, really good. So there will be some plants that will be propagated. It would be a waste not to do it, I recently have donated plants to propagate a hybrid, a pseudolobivia hybrid that had amazing flowers. And eventually I donated 4 or 5 plants, and they can now take that over. That's how I do it, you know? The one thing that really matters to me is that I'm not supplying that I'm not really giving away plants that will eventually be sold again, you know? Because that's exactly why I'm gifting them away. Because I don't want them to be sold for outrageous prices. I was poor a large part of my life. And if people hadn't sent me good stuff for free, I would have never been able to afford the hobby the way, you know, like the good thing about the plant hobby is that you often know many people that donate stuff, you know? And yeah, like when you get closer with other breeders, it allows you to have access to great plants without having a lot of money. Like the great equalizer. And I want to repay that by also making stuff available for others again. Personally, I really hate to see that some of the plants that were originally donated on the condition that they are propagated again for free. I see a lot of that. There are quite a few different plants that I donated for free, like just Amun-Re. Just talking about Amun-Re and how, like in the beginning, the plants of Amun-Re that were available, they were all donated for free, or maybe a few plants came from Eberhard Kahler. But that aside, they were donated, you know, and now they are sold for like $500. And I find it outrageous. I really hate it. It's not that I don't want people to earn a little money. I get that. I get that part. You know, life is difficult. But this is kind of locking out people that don't have a lot of money. And that is exactly what I do not want to have. Yeah. I have given away many different plants in my life, and eventually they've been selling them, you know? Selling them for outrageous prices or just not propagating them the way they were supposed to do it. And that was eventually why I said, okay, I'm only propagating under very strict circumstances. And if that isn't guaranteed, I'm not doing it. So with Amun-Re, my offer stands. I'm happy to, if someone really wants to make it available, my offer stands. I can make that happen. But it needs to be for free. I do not want to see these being sold. I'm not supplying price gouging, if you know what I mean. Okay, so these here need a little bit water. You can see the mineral deposits here. Not really good. And it's weird because I feel like you only see these mineral deposits on the sowing soil. The first generation soil that I had didn't have them like that. Like not in that kind of... It wasn't so bad. Like I think... Is this the first? No, I think these have also been repotted. But it's really stood out to me that the first generation soil didn't have so many mineral deposits. Hey mate, hope everything's all right. Okay. Yeah. So let's check the roots, because this is also, I feel like these are too small. There must be a reason that they are so small. Probably it's the roots that are not okay. This is okay. No, they are okay. I have a decent root, so let me just get it back into the soil firmly, trying to compress the soil a little bit around that seedling. Sometimes when you have seedlings that are delayed, growing slower, try to clean up around them, get them a little deeper in the soil. Good connection, maybe that helps. Sometimes there are genetic reasons that they stay behind, but not always. Sometimes you just have a seedling that was a little bit too much on top of the soil instead of in the soil. Okay. Okay, yeah, those will go back now. For now, I just want the soil to dry up again. Letting this dry up, then I will water them again. These here have been repotted just recently. Can't really say any 10. Okay, I have lost connection. I'm back again. Yeah, that's exactly the way it is with me. Like I've just read a comment that a lot of people then, like, you give them a plant and then eventually they sell it. That's exactly the problem. And it's always been a problem. Like, I remember a situation with Reinhard Liske, and Reinhard Liske is a really one of the best breeders that ever lived. Really one of the greatest. Okay. And he had been supplying free seeds, and really in large amounts, hundreds of crosses every year. And he's been donating those seeds, and then people went on eBay, like they grew the seedlings and sold them on eBay. They hadn't flowered yet, and sometimes, like with the breeders, sometimes if a breeder gives away seeds and you grow something good from those seeds, you offer the breeder a cutting in return just as a return on the favor. And that hadn't happened. Like, I remember that Reinhard was really mad, really angry that he had to buy a hybrid called Pretty Baby on eBay, or that hybrid ended up on eBay first. Looking back, I read that that he was offered a cutting. That's what I read afterwards, but I know that this situation became a huge issue, became the reason that Reinhard Liske didn't donate seeds anymore to the Echinopsis work group. Yeah, and it's been a problem from the beginning. Yeah, unfortunately, that happens quite a lot, and it's the reason why I stopped donating so much. Like in the past, I donated a lot more, and eventually there were very few situations where I felt like I donated the plants to the right people, and but it still happened. You know, I had people that completely surprised me, that made up for all the negative experiences. Also with seeds, I've had many people that were amazing, that grew amazing stuff from my seeds, and that's why you can never really know for sure what will happen. There are some people that just take it more seriously than others, and yeah, so, but it has led to me kind of pulling back a little bit from donating so much. I still remember I sent plants to people that lost them within the first year, and look, you can always lose a plant here and there, but in that case, they had left them in a greenhouse that was where it was snowing in. You know, it was literally snowing into the greenhouse. So yeah. Again, my offer stands with Amun-Re. I hate to see that price gouging, and I can make it happen. If we have, like, if there's someone who says, okay, I take on that project to propagate it, I'm sure I would be supportive of it. But the plants need to be available for free. That's the condition. I'm not supporting the market, giving people free plants to sell. I'm not doing that. So yeah. Okay, a little bit more water. I'm already pretty late in the live stream, so I will probably end it very soon. I mean, this is already over quite a lot. But it's been an interesting discussion, you know? I always like to have an interesting discussion on the live stream, and if we have it, we usually have it to the end. So it was good that we talked about it. We will see how it goes. Amun-Re, I'm sure it will eventually, the prices will eventually go down, but they should not have been that high in the beginning. That plant was around 15 years ago, and people have donated cuttings 15 years ago. The fact that today none are available also has to do with the fact that so many have instantly put a huge price tag on it and sold them. I'm not against selling plants, you know? I'm not against selling plants. Everyone has got to live. I just do not want to have that kind of unfair price gouging where people just abuse that they were given a cutting for free and then turn around and sell it for outrageous prices. Everyone's got to live. I was also a seed seller, you know, so I understand that the plant business is difficult. But just keep in mind that where I come from, I did not have a lot of money. And if people had not made stuff available to me for free, I would have never gotten the chance to grow them. And I want to, like, for the rest of my life, I want to repay that favor. You know, you never know how it goes in life. I will never say that maybe at some point I might sell my collection. Like say, okay, I will donate this and I will sell the rest. Never say never, but I'm not a plant seller. It's not my main motivation to do things. So yeah, I'm sure. Send me an email. My email is eg@trichocereus.net. Let me know. Let me know. I'm always open to hear opinions and that kind of stuff. And yeah. So to end this, today's Thursday, by the way. Take care, mate. By the way, I've just seen the message that you're leaving. Have a nice day. I appreciate it. And to say this clearly, today is Thursday. Okay. I like when I said yesterday that I was wishing you a happy Friday. I was overly optimistic. It's only Thursday, so but it's getting closer. Okay. Yeah, I think this was a good live stream today. I will post more updates about the stuff that we sown out today later. I believe that the seedlings that the seeds that we planted today, they will need a good 10 days or so to come up. The moment I have seedlings, I will bring them in the live stream. Later today, I will continue to water the remaining seedlings that I didn't get to watering today. And yeah, and I will continue to clear the set because we will be outside within the next couple of weeks. The set is already almost clear. I just want to have it clean enough that we can start, you know? So we will go out very soon. Okay, thank you guys. It was great to have that live stream today. I appreciate it, everyone. And yeah, to say about that thing with Thailand and the prices, they are propagating a lot for cheap, you know, and it's pushing the prices down into a point where it's no longer where you can no longer survive, you know. I feel like with every plant that you put out, you only have 5 or 10 years where you can sell it a little bit. And again, sometimes that leads to these excessive prices. But I would already be happy if they would kind of find a price that allows the nurseries to continue to survive, you know, like and with the way that the mass propagation happens, it's completely the opposite side of the spectrum where they are selling plants for so cheap that you can barely do it anymore, you know. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice Thursday. I will be back again tomorrow and then we will do another nice live stream. Nice update of the things that I do. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I wish you all a happy day today. Happy weekend tomorrow. Okay? Thank you. I will be back tomorrow. Have a nice day.